धन्यदे श्री राधा कृष्ण पादा सहगना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपीश गोपिका कान्ता राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा माताजी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Pranams Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Please accept humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada.
Glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Mataji, how do we start? We have done the Mangala Charan, so we hand over to Mataji.
Yes, I can take over, Prabhuji. No worries. But would you mind giving me a minute? Just a minute, Prabhuji. Somebody is...
Sure, Mataji. Sure.
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नामस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी भाष्यार्थदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। शृण्वता स्वागता कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः हृदयन्तस्थो हि अभद्राणि विधुनोति सुहृत्सदं नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्ति भवति नैष्टिकी। Hare Krishna. All right. So let's get started, dear devotees. I just before we get started, I wanted to share this good news that Vaijayanti Mataji has her daughter has delivered a grandson. Congratulations, Mataji, and we pray. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, Mataji. I didn't know that you were going to join today. I was thinking, okay, Mataji probably might be busy. As such, she's busy being a doctor, but today is also a special day because her daughter delivered. So I was thinking probably Mataji will not join, but I was thinking in my heart, I miss you. But thank you, Mataji, for joining the call today.
Thank you, Amma. Thank you.
Okay, so we will get started with the 17th chapter for today. All right. It's a beautiful chapter, and I wanted to talk about the summary of the chapter today because we have seen so many things till now. So I just wanted to walk you through what has happened so far. So let's get started with the class without any further ado, because there is so much to cover in today's class. Very, very important chapter and a lot of things to learn. So we are discussing from the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam of how Parikshit Maharaj, after he was made the king by Yudhishthir Maharaj, all the Pandavas, they retired and they departed for Himalayas. So Parikshit Maharaj, as predicted, he manifested all the wonderful qualities and he was maintaining the kingdom very, very nicely. He was maintaining very nicely. And one day what happened? He found out that Kali has infiltrated the kingdom. He could see that people are behaving in a wrong way, not following the Dharma. So he went on to find out what is the cause. And there he found a bull, which was personified religion. And he also found Mother Earth in the form of cow talking to each other. And the cow was in a very distressed state. The bull is asking the cow so many reasons. Why are you not happy? Why are you sad? So that's all is what we are going to discuss in 17th chapter, which is entitled The Punishment and Reward of Kali. So this is the chapter's name. The whole pastime, the episode was discussed by the sages of Naimisharanya. They were confused, they were bewildered, they were surprised because Sutta Goswami told Parikshit Maharaj he saw personified Kali beating the cow and bull, but still he did not kill him. He just punished him. So this created sort of curiosity among the sages. Why Maharaj Parikshit did not kill Kali? Because anybody who gives pain to the cow or the bull should be killed immediately. So that's why this whole episode is going on. Now, the setting is such that Sutta Goswami is describing that Parikshit Maharaj, he observed there was this low-class person Sudra, and he was dressed like a king. And he was beating the bull with his club. This was the scene which Parikshit Maharaj saw. I mean, he saw the scene. So Prabhupada writes elaborate purports in the chapter describing the government of the Vedic times and the modern government. So Prabhupada writes, the principal sign of the age of Kali is that low-class Sudras, that means those people who don't have Vedic culture, those who do not have Brahminical culture, those who are not taking initiation, these people, they dress themselves as administrators and kings. And what are they going to do? They are going to torture innocent people. They will torture the citizens. They will kill the animals. This is what the low-caste Sudras who have no Vedic culture will do. So generally, Kshatriya means what? Kshatriya means one who protects others. Kshatriya means one who protects others. So in Kali Yuga, there is no particular system in which one can say, I mean, in this Kali Yuga, we can say a person is a Kshatriya or a person is a Brahmana. There are changes in roles in Kali Yuga. So the person who was a Shudra, he's now dressed like a king. And then Parikshit Maharaj, he saw the bull as a white lotus flower. The bull was very terrified. It was trembling as if it was urinating. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Path, he was writing, what is the meaning of Meham Tam Eva? Mehan Tam Eva. In Sanskrit, what is the meaning? He is writing, in his commentary, as if urinating. That means the Dharma, he was standing only on one leg. And somehow he was maintaining. It was looking as if he was every moment flowing away. That is how Dharma is described as. Vishwanath Chakravarti describes it as trembling. Dharma was described as if it's trembling, as if it's urinating. So there is a metaphor that is used, which Sutta Goswami is using in his description. to help us understand the perishing condition of the dharma. It's perishing. That is why it is the urinating metaphor is used, right? It is trembling. Dharma is trembling, which means it's shaking. So the first symptom of Kali Yuga that Prabhupada writes in his purport is that this Kali Yuga has this low-class Sudras who are going to become administrators. The second symptom of Kali Yuga, according to Srila Prabhupada, is the principles of Dharma which are spotlessly white. So bull is personified religion, which is spotlessly white. It will be attacked by whom? The Sudra population. People who have no Vedic culture, people who have no understanding of Dharma, people who have no understanding of spiritual life, they will declare themselves to be the leaders of the society. And they will destroy what? The general Dharmic principles. That is why this bull is described as a white like lotus flower. So bull represents Dharma, and bull, Dharmic principles will be destroyed in the age of Kali. And that is what Srila Prabhupada writes in today's age state. This is the state of today's age, which is described by Srila Prabhupada. In the name of secularism, the Dharmic principles are thrown out. Total indifference to the principles of religion is taking place. So we don't want to practice any Dharma. That's what people say. Secular religion means secular state. You should allow all Dharmic principles to grow. But in the name of secularism, there is no respect for Guru, Sadhu or Shastra, which is important principles of Dharma. So Guru, Sadhu and Shastras have to be respected. But when you look at today's age, people have no respect for Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. So this is something that Srila Prabhupada pointed out. And he also said difference between administration of the Vedic times and modern times. So in the Vedic times, the administration was based on Vedic principles, which is scriptural principles. And there is no whimsical rule which was made. All rules were already in the scriptures, and Vedic kings, they happened to consult with the Brahmanas who were learned in the scriptures, and they used to imbibe and follow it themselves, and they were acting as role models for others to follow. And in the current times, Srila Prabhupada writes in one of the purports, every day new rules are made, new laws are made, which are not according to Vedic principles, Vedic scriptures. So therefore, the condition of Dharma, the bull, is worsening every day. It's changing. And he saw cow, the mother earth was in the form of cow. She was looking very weak. She was in a very distressed state. Very, very distressed state. And you know, mother cow is the mother of everyone. There are 7 mothers, it is described. And one of them is cow, because cow is beneficial to everyone. Srila Prabhupada writes, he writes in his purport, the first condition, the first symptom of Kali Yuga is low-class people will become kings. The second symptom of Kali Yuga, Dharmic principles, which are spotlessly white, they will be destroyed by Shudras, like population. And then the third symptom of Kali Yuga is the distressed condition of the cows. And we see in this age, cows are slaughtered cruelly. Unlimited number of cows are slaughtered every day. Prabhupada writes, milking the cows means drawing the principles of religion. Cow gives the miracle food, that is milk. So Srila Prabhupada describes the glory of cow's milk, which is liquid religion, required for sacrifice. And if the sacrifice is done properly, then the citizens will be happy, as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. If you perform your yajna, what does he say? Then the devatas will be happy and they will bestow all the benedictions, and then the sacrifice, it has to be done to please the Lord. Then the Lord will be pleased. So if you're not performing sacrifice to please the Lord, then you're going to become entangled in this world. We saw that from Bhagavad Gita. So then Prabhupada writes, the cow is looking as if she was calfless. Generally, what happens? Calf, it is brought in front of the cow, the mother. The cow becomes very happy. She gives very abundant milk, because as soon as she sees the calves, then what happens? She gives abundant milk. But in the current civilization, the calf is taken away and the cow is crying. Cow is crying because what? The calf is not to be seen. Cow longs to see her calf, isn't it? Mother, she longs to see her child. It's a newborn. Like that, a calf, the cow longs to see the calf. But the calf is not there. The calf is taken away. The cow is crying now. And how will it give milk if it is in a distressed state? So what's going on? Artificial milk is drawn to such an extent that blood starts coming out of that mother cow. Intense pain of the cows. This is the situation of Kali Yuga, dear devotees. Very, very sad situation, isn't it? So Srila Prabhupada writes all these great sinful acts, they are responsible for disasters that are happening in the current times. So Parikshit Maharaj, as soon as he saw the condition of this cow and the bull, he was equipped with his bow and arrow. So he spoke to the cow first. As it's described, that the speech of Parikshit Maharaj, it was like voice. His voice was like thunder. Meka Gambiraya Vacha. Meka Gambiraya Vacha. It was rambling like that of a thunder. Whenever Krishna speaks, even a small child, when Krishna is speaking, his speech is described as Meka Gambiraya Vacha, meaning very grave. So Srila Prabhupada writes, the modern elected heads of the government, they cannot match Parikshit Maharaj's ruling, because Parikshit Maharaj was a powerful king. By dressing as a royal king, one does not become a royal person. One does not get the qualities of a royal person. He's asking this Shudra, who are you? Who are you? You appear to be strong, but you dare to kill a helpless cow and a bull? How can you do this? These guys are helpless and you dare to kill them? You are dressed as a Kshatriya, but you are opposing to the principles of religion. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Pada, he says, Parikshit Maharaj is telling, who are you? You're committing a violence in my presence. And Kali says, I am the king. I am the king. Parikshit Maharaj says, since I am the king, how can you be the king? So Kali says, I am the king because I'm dressed like a king. So Parikshit Maharaj is saying, just dressing like a king, one doesn't become a king. You're a Shudra by your actions. Why? Because you're torturing the cow and the bull. So Parikshit Maharaj, he brings up this point to say that anybody doesn't become a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya by birth. This is what is the general trend nowadays. See, I'm born in a Brahmin family. I'm a Brahmana. Even, a taxi driver may say, I'm a Brahmana because I was born in a Brahmin family. I have a thread also, sacred thread that I wear. But Krishna says, Chaturvanyam maya shrishtam guna karma vibahashaha. Tasya kartaram apimam vidya kartam avyayam. One does not become a Brahmana by birth. One becomes a Brahmana by his qualities and by his actions. Right? This is what is described. So Srila Prabhupada writes, Kshatriyas are twice born. That means they have the qualities that are laid out in the Vedic scriptures. They have learned all the Vedic scriptures, how to protect the innocent people. This is what Kshatriya's job is, isn't it? To protect people from calamities. Prabhupada writes, no one expects justice or equality of treatment from one who's born if he is not learned in the scriptures, if he cannot protect people. So practicing Krishna consciousness, we should be learned in the scriptures, isn't it? So that we can protect the principles of Dharma. We can protect our devotional principles. This is very important. We are not here to become some sentimental practitioners of Krishna consciousness. I'm doing good, my life is good. Say, for example, I'm going to the temple. Wow, I have a good spiritual life. Nothing is troubling me. All we need is we have to have strong scriptural understanding. When we read, understand the philosophy, then what happens? We become very strong and determined in the practice of Krishna consciousness. This is very important. We have to become philosophically astute. We should not just be sentimental followers. That cannot last long. Bhakti means to develop sentiments for Krishna. But again, how those emotions develop? That emotions develop because you are learned in the Shastras. That bhav comes, the emotion comes because of your learning of scriptures. We should not just become sentimental. As Prabhupada says, without, he would say, religion without philosophy is sentimental speculation. And philosophy without regulation is, we call it as mental speculation. So therefore, we have to be very, very strong in the understanding of philosophy. So Kali may say, like, you're the king of the country, I'm the king of this time. This is my time. So therefore, even if you don't have, therefore you should understand that I'm the king of this time. Parikshit Maharaj, understanding this, he answers. He says, how dare you beat the cow? Just because Krishna is not there, just because Arjuna is not there, what do you think you can do? Therefore, you deserve to be killed. Chakravarti Pad, he says that Parikshit Maharaj is telling, actually, when Krishna was there, you could not enter. But now Krishna has departed along with Arjuna. Therefore, you are trying to control this entire time. Isn't it? When Krishna was there, you didn't have power. But now Krishna has departed, so you think you can spread your power. Parikshit Maharaj says, you are actually worthy of lamentation. You deserve to die. You don't know that I am existing. Therefore, Parikshit Maharaj says, if you think, if you think you have committed, he's asking the bull. Now, Parikshit Maharaj is going to the bull and he's asking, bull, who are you? Who are you, bull? Who are you? Because now he's looking at the bull after talking to Kali personified. He's looking at the bull and asking this bull, who are you, bull? You're white as a lotus. Are you a devata? I can see that you have lost your 3 legs. What happened to your 3 legs? You're just standing in 1 leg. I'm seeing you. Your eyes are filled with tears and nobody has shed your tears because of royal negligence. What's going on? Because of the royal negligence, that was the conviction and the strength of Parikshit Maharaj, isn't it? He had that conviction and strength to take care of the people of Kali. Now we see he's, somebody is crying and their legs are broken. What's going on? Aditya, do you have any questions?
Mataji, I think let me see if I can mute.
Oh, okay, no problem. No problem.
Okay.
Okay, so the point is, Parikshit Maharaj is trying to now make a conversation with the bull. Okay, so Parikshit Maharaj, he is a very powerful king, and therefore he was thinking, in my country, in my kingdom, I'm a descendant of Pandavas, and nobody has cried or shed tears because of royal negligence. This has never happened. Pandavas were never negligent of the citizens when Krishna was there, and now I'm ruling the kingdom. I was also not negligent, and how can I see somebody crying in my zone? The foremost duty of the Prabhupada writes, the foremost duty of the government is to protect the citizens, to protect the praja. Praja means including animals. Very important point that Prabhupada makes to help us understand that protecting means it's not protecting just humans, it's protecting animals also. So after consoling the bull, now he turns towards the cow. So he spoke to the bull, oh, bull warrior, who are you? You're looking white as a cow. White as a lotus, and then are you a devata? Why are tears coming from your eyes? Is it because of royal negligence? Because I have not seen this royal negligence happening in my praja. No, never. For me, Pandavas ruled and they were also not negligent at all. And how is that now this is something has happened? You're crying. I've never seen people crying in my country. And now he's turning towards who? The cow. He spoke to bull, and now he spoke to Kali. He spoke to bull, and now he's coming to the cow. He's now talking. He's saying, again, he says, before he speaks to the cow, he says one more point. O son of Surabhi, means the bull, he says, you need not lament any longer. Now I'm here, so you don't have to fear. You don't have to fear this low-class Sudra, okay? Because I'm here now. Then only he makes this one point clear to the bull, and then he turns towards the cow. He says, cow, oh mother cow, as long as I'm living, the ruler of this kingdom, you need to cry. Therefore, Prabhupada writes A powerful ruler will make sure that everybody in the kingdom is protected very well. It's not like a modern politician of the current times. They may make all the rules to protect the people, but they will openly have slaughterhouses to kill animals indiscriminately. This is what Prabhupada writes. Therefore, Parikshit Maharaj says, "Oh chaste one, I know that the king's name, fame, duration, power, all of it diminishes when the subordinates of the kingdom are terrified. So therefore, you don't worry. You should not worry at all. It is my prime duty to protect all of the citizens. Definitely, it's my duty that I would protect all of the citizens. Therefore, you don't worry at all." And the cow, she may say, "Parikshit, if you kill him, because of us, we will become responsible." For example, you think, okay, this Shudra is responsible for us crying. And if you kill this Shudra, then you will become responsible for killing. And we become responsible for you killing him. And we will become implicated. Isn't it? Parikshit Maharaj says, no, don't worry. Don't worry. I must kill for my own benefit. I must kill the Shudra for my own benefit. It is not because of your request I'm killing him. It is because I will be benefited. Otherwise, if I don't protect the subordinates, I will become sinful, isn't it? So Prabhupada again gives a very detailed commentary on this. He says, any living being should be given at all circumstances favorable situations so that he can grow in their life. Everybody should have a particular quota of food. Ishavashyam, we know that Ishavashyam from Isha Upanishad. Everybody has to be allocated their quota, and one should be satisfied with that quota. Then the society will become peaceful. Because in this world, in this universe, the material nature, everyone, what happens, when it comes to the animals, what happens? I mean, those animals that don't have hands, they become the food for those who have hands. Those who don't have legs, they become the food for those who have legs. So basically, the principle is smaller, insignificant animal is a food for the powerful animal. Jivo jivasya jivanam. So everybody has a prescribed quota, and nobody should create anxiety for others. So this is the creation of anxiety to others is what? Non-violence. It is called non-violence. As Srila Prabhupada writes, the definition of non-violence in Bhagavad Gita, what is it? To stop the progressive growth of a living entity. So if an animal is killed, he has to take birth again in the same species. So what are we doing to that animal? We are stopping the growth of that particular animal. If he has, say, 10 years, if we are killing him at the age of 5, it means he has to be born again. We are stopping his growth. He'll be born in the same species of animal, because for a prescribed period of time, you have to be an animal. Then only evolution will happen. A stage will come when he will become a human, but it takes several years for that to happen. What we are doing, we are stopping the growth of that species. So Parikshit Maharaj, he was an expert. He's about to take strong steps to stop this Kali. So Parikshit Maharaj, he repeatedly asked this interesting thing. What is he asking? Generally, it's common if you see people being ill-treated. Parikshit Maharaj repeatedly is asking the bull, who has cut off your legs? And because of the situation, you look unhappy. Please tell me. And Srila Prabhupada writes, Parikshit Maharaj says, because Krishna is not there, I cannot allow this to happen. So when Krishna was present, of course, there was no question that anybody would disobey the laws of Krishna. But now Krishna is not there. But now Krishna has disappeared. So there is so much chaos in the society. People are not following religion. People are not following the Vedic principles. No scriptural, they don't have any idea of the scriptures. Therefore, Krishna has appeared in the form of Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is nothing but Krishna, right? It was mercy. He has come in the form of Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is like a bridge to cross this ocean of material existence. So Bhagavatam is a person. And now we are discussing Bhagavatam. We should try to imbibe the mood of Bhagavatam. Read Bhagavatam, study Bhagavatam. And, this is one of the prime limbs of devotional service. Of the 5 limbs, this is a very, very, very potent limb. So Parikshit Maharaj tells, please tell me, who has done this to you? If you're going to tell me now, I will kill this person. I will kill this Kali. I mean, if you think Kali is that person. So Parikshit Maharaj says, Bull, you're offenseless. You're honest person. Please tell who has done this to you. Who's the perpetrator? Who's responsible for the situation? You know, there is a black spot in my dynasty. And the black spot is that black spot on the reputation of the sons of Pritha. It's, you know, it's very, very, it's not at all making me feel peaceful. I'm very anxious to know who's this, who's this black spot. Srila Prabhupada writes, the bull and the cows, they are offenseless living beings. Even the stool and the urine of these animals are used for the welfare of the people. And therefore, they are called offenseless. Therefore, Parikshit Maharaj is asking, tell me who has disfigured you. And then he says, actually, whoever gives pain to the offenseless creatures, he must suffer in this world. Nobody can go away with torturing creatures. He must suffer in this world. Nobody can just escape what he has done to others. No, it's my duty as a king to curb dishonest people, to curb the miscreants. So therefore, I'm asking you, please tell me, you don't have to fear anyone. Therefore, in this way, Parikshit Maharaj is going on asking this question, right? So the cow, he may think, and the bull may think, what happens if the person who has done is stronger than you? Then what you will do, Parikshit Maharaj? If this person, that you are asking, who's this person? What if this person is stronger than you? Then Parikshit Maharaj is saying, even if some Devata has done, I will punish him. Even if he is a Devata. If you think a Devata is the one who has punished you and brought you to the situation, I will uproot him. No problem. Even if he is a denizen of heaven, nobody can survive after doing so many wrongs to the sinful people. Nobody can survive. It is my duty to protect the citizens. It is my duty as a king to protect the people, protect them from evil miscreants. Unless there is an emergency, the general rules are always followed, isn't it? What is emergency? Prabhupada clarifies. There is a story, he says. One time there was no food to eat, and Vishwamitra had to survive by eating the flesh of a dog. This was emergency, apad dharma. So therefore, unless there is an emergency, nobody should kill animals indiscriminately. One should follow one's dharma. As Bhagavad Gita says, it is better to follow one's dharma than to imitate others. So as devotees, we should try to practice bhakti at our level. Sometimes devotees try to imitate and they want to, do a lot of very intense things, which may not be appropriate for their adhikar. Slowly and steadily, we have to reach that level that we are aspiring for. And we can't take, abrupt steps all of a sudden. Prabhupada writes in one of the purports, one should understand their capacity and one should act and one should fix certain practices of devotional service according to their level and practice them. But we have to be determined to follow them. Do not try to go beyond the level. You cannot imitate other advanced devotees. Everybody has a particular, particular strength, particular level, and practicing spiritual life, we just have to follow whatever we can. But we have to be determined to follow it. So hence, Parikshit Maharaj is again and again asking personality of Dharma and the cow. And Dharma personified says, O king of words, you have spoken, whatever you have spoken, it is befitting your dynasty. You are descendant of Pandava dynasty and you have really captivated the mood of the Pandavas. You are definitely an ideal descendant of the Pandavas. In this way, Dharma personified is glorifying Parikshit Maharaj. And he's telling, because of your ancestors Pandavas, because the Pandavas were so devoted to Krishna, Krishna was ready to become the messenger. We've heard that earlier. Now Krishna was doing everything for the Pandavas because Krishna was, he was even malleable to the Pandavas, they were malleable to the will of the Krishna. And because of that, Krishna was ready to do anything for them. So Dharma is glorifying Parikshit Maharaj that you have actually imbibed the mood of your dynasty. Whatever you're speaking, it befits your dynasty. It is befitting befitting all the generations that, past generations of Pandavas. It is really befitting. You have so nice mood. We can see that mood. So like you can see a person's bhav, right? By speaking to him, you can understand what is his bhav, what is his nature, what is his tendency. Like that. Now these bull and cow, they are hearing Parikshit Maharaj speaking. And now the bull is telling, yeah, we can really understand your bhav, we can really understand your mood. And it's no less than the Pandavas. So Prabhupada writes, Parikshit Maharaj, he was not at all falsely proud. When he says, I can defeat even the Devatas, what does that mean? Is it showing he's very proud that he can even defeat the Devatas? No. Prabhupada writes, clarifies that. Because our material mind will think, yeah, this guy, he's thinking he can even beat the beat the Devatas. That means how proud he is. Like that, our material mind will think. So immediately Acharya's purports come and Prabhupada rescues us. He says, no, because for a devotee, the Lord is none, according to him, for a devotee of the Lord, nothing is impossible. So even Prabhupada writes, the devotee of the Lord is more powerful than the Lord because he has the grace of the Lord. So that's how Krishna is. Krishna, he gives credit to his devotees. Krishna is Sarva Saundarya Sagaram. And wonderful aspect of Krishna is he gives credit to his devotees all the time. So Sarva Saundarya Sangraham. He likes to glorify the devotees. Therefore, he empowers his devotees to such an extent that they can do unimaginable things. Anything can be possible. Anything impossible can be possible for a devotee. How? Krishna's mercy, Krishna's grace. This is the point. Very important point. So in the 5th canto, it is described when Sukadev Goswami is telling Priyavarta Maharaj, he divided the entire Bhumandal into 7 oceans and 7 islands. Parikshit Maharaj was surprised how an ordinary living entity could do this. And Sukadev says, oh, Parikshit Maharaj, nothing is impossible for a devotee of the Lord because he's empowered by Krishna. He's empowered. Therefore, this Dharma personified is glorifying Parikshit. He's telling, oh, greatest among the human beings. Actually, it is very difficult to ascertain who's the cause of my situation. It's very difficult to ascertain because different people, they have different opinions. That is why it's very, very difficult to ascertain. So it is interesting. The person is standing right in front of you with a sword. That's Kali. Kali personified is standing just right in front of you with a sword in his hand, with a club and trying to beat the bull. And the bull is telling, oh, it's difficult to understand. What is the cause of my suffering? And then for this, Prabhupada writes, there are various philosophies. So Prabhupada writes, the 6 types of philosophies are there. There is Mimamsa, Sankhya, Vedanta, Karma Mimamsa, so many philosophies. Gautama, Patanjali, Ashtanga Yoga, all so many are there. Although the bull was Dharma personified and Mother Earth was Earth personified, Mother Cow was Earth personified, they knew very well that this is Kali Yuga and Kali personified is the cause of their problem. They were not ready to accept and tell, right? You can see that. You'd have, seen it in your last classes. They knew very well, oh, Kali is the cause. They knew it's the direct cause of their sufferings. But they say, no. What do you understand from this? So, understanding is that devotees of the Lord, they never blame the direct cause of their suffering. Why? Why do they not blame the direct cause of the suffering? I think everybody should probably wake up now. I don't know if you're all attentively listening, but a very important point. What is the point? The direct cause is right in front of them, but they are not blaming the direct cause. Why? Anybody wants to answer why?
The cause of all causes is Krishna.
Cause of all causes is Krishna. Okay, very nice.
Devotees believe, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
Devotees believe that I deserve even worse because of Krishna's grace. I'm getting only this much.
Only this much. Okay, very nice.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Also, can try that devotees also think that they themselves are the cause of the problem. Like, I am the one in the fault always.
Wow, I'm responsible for my faults and nobody is the cause. Oh, good. It's my karma because of which I'm suffering. Very nice. So devotees of the Lord, very good, beautiful answers. So they understand that, I mean, here in this case, they understood that whatever is happening in the life of a devotee, it is orchestrated by the will of the Lord, right? It is the mercy of the Lord. Whatever is happening in my life, I'm controlled by Krishna. It's just his mercy. So the devotees, they will take care of everything to maintain their life, but they never blame the circumstances. So by this, you just understand the mood. When you have this mood, automatically you become peaceful. Even though the situation is really bad, okay, very bad situation. It's not at all easy for you to tackle it. It's not at all easy for you to manage it. But when we have this bhav, when we have this mood, that anything that happens in my life is mercy of the Lord, be it suffering, be it happiness, it's just his mercy. Everything is his mercy. So see, I mean, when it comes to my life, I've started looking into the perspective to see things as if it's mercy of Krishna and what I can learn from that situation. If something were to happen in my life, what can I learn? What is the learning for me, Krishna? What can I learn? How should I become a better devotee? Because Krishna, he looks for reciprocation. Krishna consciousness is nothing but we are conscious of Krishna and Krishna's teachings. This is what Krishna consciousness is. If am I Krishna conscious at that point in time, when something happens into my life? This is what I evaluate. And I try to learn as much as possible. What is the learning for me? No point. Something has happened and you can't have control over that situation because it has already happened. Okay, what next? We can't brood or lament because lamenting is not good for our devotional life. It is not good because that time is not used in Krishna consciousness. So what am I going to use that time for? In lamenting? No, I'm not going to lament. It's a waste of my time. So at least you can pray to Krishna at that time. Okay, give me the intelligence to understand what is it that I need to learn from the situation. Pray and cry. Just don't lament. Cry to Krishna, no problem. Crying to Krishna is prayerful mood is very good for you. Definitely, that is the way we could take shelter of that situation. Then some devotee may come and he may guide you. He may just tell one principle. That is what you're looking for in your life. Krishna comes through devotees. Krishna comes through scriptures. He will save you from whatever that you're going through. If you're not able to understand how it is mercy, because we say, suffering is mercy, but how it is mercy? For that intelligence is needed, scriptural intelligence is needed. But when we cannot understand, then we start to pray and cry so that we can understand. Krishna, give me the intelligence to understand how it is your mercy. Give me an understanding to understand how I can learn from this situation. What is it that I have to learn? That way, you don't start to crib about things. You don't start to, start gossiping about others, criticizing others. No, not at all. We stay away from that. It's no use. It only agitates our heart. It only creates agitation and more bad impressions are created. Nothing more than that. We are just ruining by doing that. If others do it, it's their ignorance. That's all. Anyways, coming back to this point, very beautiful answers, dear devotees. Many prayers talk about the devotion, as Prasanatma Prabhu said, as Ajay Govind Prabhu said, and Mataji said. So everything is beautiful. That is exactly the mood of a devotee. They know whatever is happening in their life is due to their own karma, as Prasanatma Prabhu said. Yes, Krishna is personally orchestrating this. This is the attitude of the devotee. Tattenu kampam sushamikshamanu. This verse is all the time quoted by Srila Prabhupada. When one starts to practice Krishna consciousness, he becomes purified of all the sinful reactions that happens in his life, as Rupa Goswami describes in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And manifested reactions, the reactions in the seed form, proclivity to do the sinful reactions, all that, everything is destroyed by devotional service. So Parikshit Maharaj, he wanted to get the statement of acquisition. I want an FIR report from you guys. He's asking the bull and the cow. He just is telling, give me the incident report. I want to write a statement of acquisition. And you just tell me and I'm going to kill him. But they have declined to give. They have declined. No FIR, nothing. So the bull says, I don't know the person from whom actually the seed of suffering is arising. Although this person is standing right in front of me, he may be the direct cause. Who's the seed of suffering? I don't know. Parikshit Maharaj says, why are you concealing this person? He's standing right in front of you, isn't it? Why are you not telling? Why are you not telling? Why are you saying, I don't know? The bull may say, it's actually true. He's giving me suffering. But you know, there is seed of suffering also. I'm not sure who's the seed of suffering, who's the cause of seed of suffering. I don't know that. So Parikshit Maharaj says, you are Dharma personified. You know all the scriptures. So why don't you just say the truth? Bull says, yes, this is the problem. Because if somebody understands so many scriptures, knowledge of many scriptures is the, it will have misunderstanding. It is the cause of misunderstanding. So many scriptures, you'll be very confused. If somebody reads so many scriptures, not devotional scriptures, but I'm talking about other, not Bhakti Shastra related scriptures, but other scriptures, it may completely confuse a person. So Kali Yuga, there are so many, Prabhupada writes, there are so many options to choose. One, if he goes to a mall, say for example, a mall, 100 varieties of toothbrushes there, toothpaste, 100 varieties. So to choose a toothpaste and a toothbrush, there are 100 varieties. I'm just giving an example. It's not even 100 more than that. What does it do to a person? It creates confusion. Therefore, in Kali Yuga, there are so many hundreds of philosophies. Every person has a different philosophy about Vedic knowledge because there is no standard protocol. Everybody invents their own philosophy. So some philosophers say, some philosophers, they say actually one's own self is responsible for suffering. Others say, no, supernatural power is responsible for the suffering. Some say, no, Prakriti is responsible for suffering. Others say, no, Swabhava is responsible for suffering. Others say, no, the activity that you do is responsible for your suffering. So like this, you can't ascertain the cause. Each philosophy is talking something different. It is very difficult to understand the cause of suffering. You may be thinking it's very obvious. This person is beating him. He's responsible. But after telling everything, Dharma personified says, oh king, now you judge yourself. You decide who's the cause of suffering and you do the needful. This is what I will say. And Prabhupada, he describes so many philosophies in his purports. All these philosophies, and some say Atma is the cause of suffering, and Bhagavad Gita describes mind is the greatest friend, it's also the greatest enemy. And these people say Devatas cannot be the cause of suffering because they are giving us the result of our karma. They are not independent, they are dependent on our karma. Some people say no, planets are the cause. There are so many, some philosophers are Sankhya followers, right? They atheistic Sankhya they follow, and some people they follow theistic Sankhya given by Kapila. They actually tell nature is the cause, material nature is the cause. Like this, Prabhupada makes a point of all these philosophies, right? He brings out, you may be thinking, oh, such intense philosophical discussion is going on. It looks boring sometimes. So if you speak philosophy, sometimes people may get bored. If you tell stories, yeah, it's good. We can go on hearing stories, but when it comes to philosophies, yeah, it becomes dry many times. But when you understand that, philosophy properly, we can handle many problems in our life very easily. Very easily we can handle, no problem at all. If something comes, no problem. I understood philosophy, I understood the teachings of Srila Prabhupada, I am able to survive in this world. That is how scriptures are helping us in this material world. While living in this material world also, we can live peacefully because of our scriptures. The stories are good to hear, but when we are very strong in philosophical understanding, then life is totally different. Our perspective to things change very nicely, for a good reason. Every day, that's why we should hear Bhagavatam, read Bhagavad Gita. This way, we are making our spiritual muscles strong. We all try to make our material body stronger and stronger by going to the gym and doing exercise, but we have to make our spiritual muscles strong. This is the way, to conquer Kali. Otherwise it's very difficult. Just like in the countryside, if you see two fields are there, there is a small way to walk, and in the rainy season nobody walks there, so the grass grows and it covers the path. Similarly, if we are not reading philosophy, every day our mind will be covered with doubts. The weeds of doubts will creep into our mind and to our consciousness. the path would then covered by weeds completely. So our consciousness will get covered and it will be clouded with doubts. It's very important that we should understand philosophy very nicely. Of course, as Ajay Govind Prabhu mentioned, Supreme Lord, He is the ultimate cause of everything. Not even a blade of grass moves without His will. So everybody, somebody, if he hears this, he might tell, okay, that means Lord is the cause of suffering. No. How can you see Lord is the cause of suffering? Because Lord has no liking and dislike for anyone. He's not partial. He's very equal. Lord is responsible for our suffering. Actually, it's very difficult to understand who's the cause of suffering. Because especially in the life of a devotee, it's very difficult to understand because Krishna is personally orchestrating and planning out events in the life of a devotee. No matter if it's a pure devotee or a new devotee, everybody, if he's sincere in the practice of Krishna consciousness, that devotee is taken care of by Krishna. Bhishmadev, he's telling to Yudhishthira Maharaj, nobody can understand the plan of Krishna. Even great sadhus, rishis, they all get bewildered. So the bull, he concludes by telling, actually, the Lord is giving me suffering for two reasons. And he's telling, first, for the benefiting the devotees. How? Because when devotees, they go into troubles, they remember Lord more intensely. That's what Kunti Maharani says now. She prays to give her more suffering. Because why? We remember Krishna intensely during the time of suffering. The devotees of the Lord, they remember. That is why the bull is giving two reasons now. Actually, Lord is giving me suffering for two reasons. First, he is benefiting the devotees. How he is benefiting? This way, the devotee is able to remember the Lord intensely. They remember the Lord intensely. And everybody, we all have this experience. We are in trouble, we are in a distress condition, then that time, we remember the Lord very intensely. So the Lord desires that we remember Him. That is why He puts us in trouble. Reason number one, the bull gives. Second reason, the bull says, he wants to announce the fame of a great devotee like you. Because you will subdue. Because Parikshit Maharaj, because he wants to bring up your fame. What do you do? Because you're going to subdue the Kali, Krishna wants to glorify you. Since you have subdued Kali, people will know about you. See, this person, Parikshit Maharaj, he has subdued the Kali personified. So Parikshit Maharaj says, there are so many things you are speaking, which is the best. So bull says, you decide. Use your intelligence and you decide. I cannot tell who's responsible because devotee never feels I'm not treated properly. He always feels whatever is happening in his life, Krishna is there for me. Avanti Brahmana's case, we all know from 10th Avanti Brahmana story in Bhagavatam. All, what is happening to him? He's saying all these relatives, they are not responsible for my suffering, not the planets, not anyone. All these are not, they're not responsible. Who's responsible? The mind is responsible for my suffering. Because the mind, it is filled with desires. And because of these desires, we perform sinful activities. And therefore, the bull is not blaming anyone. So the Goswami says, when Parikshit Maharaj heard this, he was completely satisfied. He understood that this is no other than religion personified. Just by speaking to a person, you can understand what kind of person the person is, isn't it? Is he intelligent? Is he a fool? Is he a theist? Is an atheist? You can understand just by speaking to him for 5 minutes. As soon as Bull spoke like this, Parikshit Maharaj completely understood. He is religion personified. Because how can somebody speak such wonderful philosophy in such a midst of the pain? He has 3 legs broken. Imagine his situation. He's only 1 leg now. And standing in this 1 leg, he's speaking. And how can he speak such great philosophy even in the midst of such great pain? He understood that whatever we have imbibed, in our life, it will come out during the time of distress. We speak all wonderful philosophy. Now I may speak, Krishna is the, it's all mercy. But when suffering comes to me and hits on me really hard, then what am I going through? What philosophy am I speaking at that time? That will be tested during difficult times. Dear devotees, whatever I speak in the forum, I always get tested for, that is for sure. So how much I have imbibed the philosophy, how much I will be tested, it's all going to come up, but it's always been coming up. So Krishna has always been merciful. I will always say that, irrespective of what comes into my life, it's all for my purification Krishna is doing, whatever he does. So I really, sometimes, in the initial times, I used to get scared because, suddenly I used to speak about that particular philosophy, and then suddenly I'll get tested and I'm like, how am I to react to the situation? But now I understand it's all Krishna's mercy. So with time, we will understand that. So Parikshit Maharaj is saying, you know the intricacies of religion. Yeah, Dharma personified you are. You are Dharma. And you have appeared in the form of bull. And therefore, you are speaking according to the principles of Dharma. That is, it is very, very, that is why you are speaking the principles of Dharma. That destination, which is intended for a perpetrator, person who identifies a perpetrator, very, very difficult to understand. He's telling, if somebody does something wrong to you and you identify the person, he's responsible for my suffering, we also get implicated, it seems. So that means a devotee, he concludes that nobody is responsible for his suffering. Although we may take all precautions, of course, we have to take all precautions, all steps, so that we can come out of a certain situation. But a devotee feels ultimately, in the end, nobody is responsible. I'm responsible for my own problems. I did something in the past, that is why I'm suffering now, like Prasanatma Prabhu said. And everything is sanctioned by the Lord, like Ajay Govind Prabhu said. Everything is sanctioned by the Lord, because without the sanction of the Lord, nothing happens to a devotee's life. Prabhupada, he cites the example of Jesus Christ. He says he was crucified, he was tortured, he was telling, oh God, please forgive me. They don't know what they are doing. If you look at Haridas Thakur, what did he say? He was beaten in 22 marketplaces, very hard, very severe, but he was praying. Oh my God, Krishna, please forgive them. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was about to send his Sudarshan Chakra, but because of the prayers, he could not do anything. So the devotee never blames anyone. This is the very important principle we have to take from this class, dear devotees. I beg to my mind as well to take this very important point, that we should never blame anybody for the circumstances that are happening into our life. What it does to us is it benefits us in so many ways. How does it benefit, Mataji? First of all, bad impressions are avoided, agitation is avoided. Third reason is you're not committing any offense. Offense, the main reason for offense is your criticizing mentality, is your blaming mentality. We have to curb that. Very important lesson that we can all teach to ourselves from this session is that it's very important to accept situation as it is. Think it to be the mercy of Krishna, because he's orchestrating in your life. He's planning events into your life so you can get purified and learn from it. And we can all succeed in the path of devotional service by learning with experience, isn't it? So this is what I wanted to conclude. I mean, there's so much going on after this, but I think we can stop here. I just wanted to do this recap because this is very important for each and every session to kind of understand the gist of what is happening in the episode, because sometimes we may get lost in the purports and we may not be able to connect the dots as to what we are learning. So I wanted to make use of this opportunity to kind of go over the essence in today's class. So that's the intent. With this, we can end today's class. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Kaur Bhakta Vrind ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much for this wonderful session. We'll definitely start to learn from how to build our spiritual muscles. So that's a very nice point. Like many materialists, go to the gyms and then start building their physical muscles, which will be eventually lost, and then there's no use of building it eventually. Although maybe temporarily they might feel proud of their muscles, but of course, spiritual muscles means humility also included. So we pray that we all develop that, and then we progress in our Krishna consciousness. Thank you so much, Mataji, for this wonderful session. Also, as you mentioned, blaming and blaspheming other people for your situations, and holding others is not a good thing to do as a devotee, and then it builds it builds a lot of arrogance, and it builds a lot of ill feeling about others, which is not good for the progress in Krishna consciousness. Thank you so much, Mataji. I open this session for question and answers. Hare Krishna.
Excellent point, Mataji. I loved it. I see it too. Anytime I say something, I get beaten from the same point. And it tests my spiritual conviction. And I end up failing anyway, but I'm going to work on it.
Yes, Mataji. We all have to work on it.
Excellent talk. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Any other comments or questions?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. All
Hare
glories to Srila Prabhupada. Wonderful session, Mataji. It's actually a power-packed session, to be frank. And we got so many details incorporating Gita values and everything. So Gita, Bhagavad Gita tells how we have to live in a dharmic way, in Krishna's way. But knowing it is one challenge. Implementing it, executing it, living by it, it's entirely, totally different challenge. Without devotees' mercy, without Krishna's mercy, that can never happen. Because we have to remember it, right? During the class, we will remember. Maybe while writing exam, we will remember. But while the issue is happening, while we are being troubled, that time we should remember all these. And definitely, I couldn't unmute that time, Mataji, when you asked the question. So, as said, we are suffering only because of what we have done earlier. And we should not tell that as suffering, I think, right? Because we are getting purified.
Yes. Yes.
So it is a blessing that Krishna gives us. And I said in 13th chapter, 5 things would be there if something happens. So Krishna's sanction is also there if something is coming to you and you are not happy about it. But Krishna is happy. That's why he sanctioned it. So in that way, usually I take it. So that was my point, but I couldn't unmute. Sorry, Mataji. Wonderful session, Mataji. Wonderful session. And thanks for keep insisting that Shastras are very much important. Follow it. Don't doubt about it, right? Because people who are around us are more materialistic. So some other way, like we are against the tide. We are swimming against the tide. So sometimes we feel like, oh my God, everybody is going that way. Maybe I might be wrong. And especially when during this troublesome period, maybe we will think, why can't we join them? Why we have to struggle all alone? But all these Shastric views and your insistence of weekly class of like go by Shastra, that is true. That is the fact that really keep us determined, Mataji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. The other one I love is Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Once you let go, all the weeds start growing and we cloud ourselves. I love it.
Yes, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Very nice. Thank you, Lakshmi Mataji, and thank you, Vaijayanti Mataji. I have to specially thank them because as a speaker, I need some hearers also. And Mataji and Vaijayanti Mataji and Lakshmi Mataji have been inspiring me from day one to speak enthusiastically. You need good hearers. Otherwise, it's very difficult to keep that enthusiasm up and about. And this can happen only with the devotees. And even if there are few devotees, I don't care. But I really love to have sincere devotees who are really eagerly waiting. And because of their inspiration, I also go through the subject matter in detail, which is important for me as well for my purification. And then I deliver. So thank you really, dear devotees, all of you. I mean, Sashwin, of course, he's there every call and every day. Prasanatma Prabhu, I mean, Ritu Mataji, Renuka Mataji, Panchali Mataji. I've seen a few of them, but not all. But thank you all for your beautiful presence, because of which I'm able to speak something relevant to the subject every time. It's all your blessings and your mercy.
Right. Thank you, Mataji. I think we have exhausted the time, and then we want to close. Can I request Panchali Mataji to close the session? Is it possible, Mataji? Okay. Prasanatma Prabhu, is it possible for you to close? Oh yeah,
I'm
she's
actually not prepared. I'm traveling, so there's a lot of noise. I don't know if you are able to hear me. I can please.
yeah. It's you're in a noisy place. We can understand you, Mataji. Thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Yes, I think there's a disturbance in your voice, Mataji. So it's okay, Mataji.
Okay, sorry. Thank you for the word. Thank you.
Okay. Prasanatma Prabhu, you go ahead, Prabhu, if it's possible.
Hare Krishna. Thanks, Mataji, for the wonderful class. And then was pronounced to all the assembled devotees also. Because of time, I won't say much. I just also something Lakshmi Mataji has mentioned that if it pleases Krishna, then yeah, it's okay to suffer, and if it pleases Krishna, anything can happen. So anything that pleases him is okay. So maybe I will also try to imbibe this in my life. Thank you, Mataji, for the wonderful class. It's inspiring and a lot to be learned. So I pray that it may be well with all the devotees. I'll request all the devotees please to unmute and chant Hare Krishna in glorification of our grace Radhika Kasturi for such a wonderful class. Please join. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo namo namaha.
Ananta Kodi Vaishnava Vrinda ki
Srila
jai, Srila
Prabhupada
Prabhupada
ki,
ki jai.
Ja.
Her Grace Radhika Kasturi
Grace
Mataji ki.
All
Jai.
glories to the
Jai.
assembled devotees. All glories to
Thank you,
Jai.
Srila
Mataji.
Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Thank
Hare
you.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
I don't have to say perfect now.